Sangadan Prasad Setharaman now joins us, now Chief Financial Officer at Vatek Vabap. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. For the benefit of our viewers, I will start with something very simple, which is that can you first outline and briefly share with us that what is your current exposure to Middle East? How has that moved in last 3 years? And where do you stand in terms of your total commitment levels there?
Very good morning to you and very good morning to all your viewers. Thank you for having us on your show. See, Middle East, we have said in multiple con calls and even in our earlier presentations, Middle East is our growth engine. While we are an Indian company, we are truly global. We are present in the Middle East, Africa, and 25 countries across the world. The Middle East exposure has been, it's not something that is new for us. We've been there for over 4 decades. We have worked on projects with repeat customers like NWC, recently over the last decade with likes of Aramco and various other customers, providing desalination solutions with wastewater solutions and drinking water solutions. So for us, this is not a new region. But the way we have transitioned over the last 4 decades, we were earlier more tech component supplier. We have now moved into a technical partner and working with both utilities as well as industries to provide them solutions from both engineering procurement as well as engineering procurement and construction basis. So we take full scope projects, full responsibility, work with developers on finance projects, but we continue to remain asset light in this region where we work as a preferred partner for these developers. One of the major drivers for us in the region has been desalination and wastewater. And here, both in the Middle East and Africa, we are building multiple desalination plants today. We have built plants also in the past. So our understanding of the region, understanding of the customer requirements, and the technical capabilities that we possess to give them the solutions at competitive costs is already there. So for us, this is, again, to reiterate, a very, very high growth region.
Could you spell it out in numbers though, Mr. Setharaman, as to what your, because we understand that a large chunk of your order book is outside of India. So break it up as to how much of it actually comes from the Middle Eastern region and what's the order pipeline looking like right now?
So I talk more about how we have transitioned over the last 3-4 years. At least 1/3 of our revenues come from the Middle East region. If I take Middle East and Africa, it would be little more than that in terms of the business that we see. And if we look at the kind of orders that we have executed, be it the wastewater treatment plant for Marafiq, the wastewater treatment plant in Qatar for Ashghal, the desalination plant that we are in the final stages of commissioning for Tunisia, a KfW funded project. We are now building a desalination plant in Senegal. We have built effluent treatment and RODM plants for Dangote. We have a whole plethora of projects. The spectrum is very high, and this is what we have. Some of the projects that I mentioned were in the last 4-5 years of our existence in the region. Number 2, in terms of where we see this region with the Saudi Vision 2030 and various other strategy documents that has been given by the countries in the region, we see desalination, wastewater treatment and reuse as being a very, very big set of drivers in this region. If you look at the sizes of projects that we see in the Middle East, nothing less than 400-500 MLD of desalination plants, where individually, where we will be the EP or EPC partner in these projects, and we are working with the customers as well as the developers over there. Our preference will continue to be EP, but where it is an EPC, we will tie up a construction partner. So that way, we want to be a technology system integrator and not merely a contractor, because that is a low value added activity. So the sizes that we see there over the next 3-4 years, at least on a visibility projects that are now announced are close to 3-4 billion in various stages. I would say RFP, pending RFP. We have already put out bids for close to $1 billion of projects in the region, or working on projects which are in this set. So for us, this is a very, very key market, and we see this only going up in the next years.
Is your cash flow dynamics from Middle East? Are these projects where you get advance payment? Are these projects which are done on credit? How do you ensure that your cost and your revenue is protected?
We keep payment security as the first filter for any project. Especially we work in a sector which is social, and the volumes are going to come from the social side. So we work only on projects where it is either multilaterally funded, or where it is federal government funded, or where we have a letter of credit. If we take the Middle East region, where we sign projects with the federal government, we have a federal government guarantee. Where we work with the industries, we work on a firm letter of credit. So for us, payment securities is the utmost importance. Now, coming to the second stage of cash flows, we've hardly had any problems in these regions in terms of collecting monies, because they value the speed and quality of delivery. So for us, cash flows are much better, and this is one of the reasons why internationally we find getting into projects is more lucrative. This also gives us a geographical risk diversification, and this is where our strategy also kind of pans out. When it comes to margins, obviously, one, the working capital helps. Second, the rich specifications of these projects help us be better. Being an Indian company, being local in our approach allows us to provide competitive solutions. So it is a good mix from all these three perspectives. These are projects where we can put EP strategy into play. Even where there is EPC, we bring our competitiveness into play. For us, these are good cash flow and very good margin regions.
Seetharaman, I want to understand, you told about, capability companies such as yours definitely have. Size of the opportunity is good. How's the competitive scenario? We understand a lot of Norwegian companies or even Israeli companies are very good in this area of water management. So actually bagging the order when the tender goes out, does it come on good margins, and what kind of competitive landscape do you have to face?
See, the kind of projects that are coming out in this region, being desalination, large reuse projects, or large wastewater treatment projects, the competition that we face is usually international, from the Israelis, from the French, or from the Spanish, or a very large Middle Eastern company. So we don't see very local competition coming into, because these are large, complex projects where value over price is important, number one. Number two, if you see the way we work on partnerships. So we work with developers, we work with customers over a long period of time, building these partnerships, which allows us a good competitive advantage in terms of understanding what these customers need and what the region needs. And third, obviously, because of our the way we are structured, the competence centers that we have in competitive geographies, cost-wise, this allows us to provide better benchmark costs while providing the same international quality that the customer demands. So from a competitive landscape, this is what we see. And just to give you a background of the kind of projects that we are doing and kind of capabilities we have, we are doing a 400 million liter per day project in Chennai. We are qualified, probably the only Asian company qualified to bid for 1,000+ MLD desalination plant in Egypt. We are bidding for 400, 500 MLD kind of projects in desalination in the Middle East. So this shows you the size at which we are bidding. And here, automatically, the competitiveness, the competitive landscape becomes that much more sharper. and we are playing against European competitors, we are playing against Israeli competitors, where we bring our technical as well as cost advantage.
What has been your, if I just look at for VTech Wabag, the experience of what you've done, let's say in Europe, or experience of other geographies minus Middle East, that's not been a very happy hunting ground for you. That's not been a great experience. At least that's my understanding, that international business went through ups and downs. How are you confident that this Middle East business is going to be different from what has happened in, let's say, Europe? I mean, Austria is where you had business, right? If my memory serves me right. See, I track your company. I track your company. I know the data.
There is, I just want to use this opportunity also to clarify that when we say international business, we are talking about international projects. So for us, companies in international regions are not something that is important. Projects in international regions. We do international projects even from India. And that is how you see today, more than 50% of our business is outside India. Middle East and Africa has been a very, very good hunting ground for us. Good cash, good margins. Europe, yes, we have seen over a period of time, the market is saturated. We want to focus on the emerging economies. So we have also kind of defocused from the region. Today, hardly anything in the European region, maybe below 2-3% is what we focus on the European region. Even our European companies, let's say the Austrian or the Turkish company subsidiaries that we have, are focusing on projects in North Africa and the Middle Eastern region. So for us, this is the future number one. And internationally, yes, it is more difficult than India in terms of the expectations of the customers, but that's the premium that we bring, right? When we are a technically superior company, the premium that we bring is that we promise delivery, we also command value. And this is what international business has shown us. And you have seen in the last 4 or 5 years, at least, if not more, how we have transitioned as a business, how more international we have gone in terms of projects, whether it is in Southeast Asia, whether it is in Middle East, whether it is in Africa. And these have been fairly good reference projects, marquee projects, marquee clients, good margins, good cash flows. And this is where we see that the growth is also going to come, along with the expansion in India.
Final question, and this is more like a mass curiosity question. How advanced are your capabilities in terms of water filtration? I mean, tell me what you can do. Can you convert saline water, which is there in Arabian Sea, into drinking water? Where has your breakthrough moment reached? I'm just trying to understand that we all talk about water management, waste management. What has the new breakthrough been?
See, we are a pure play water company, so we can convert any water to any water. And this is something we are very proud of. As an example, more than 2 decades back, we built a plant in Namibia, which converts wastewater to direct potable reuse. So the city of Windhoek is drinking this water for the last over 2 decades and healthy. And this, I just want to demonstrate how early we have been on this technology path. We are building desalination plants. Chennai today, we are building the largest in South Asia. So for us, what we can do is not a limitation at all. Provide us any kind of water. We have the capability, we have the technology, we have a 100-year-old experience to demonstrate this. And this is coming out now. We are a preferred partner for a lot of companies in the Middle East, in India, in Africa. We work with almost every multilateral. So this is a validation. We get a lot of repeat projects from these customers. And this is the validation for the technology we do. And we are beating international competition on our technical superiority, not merely our competitiveness.
Love to come and see some of your works firsthand and actually see how the water is converted and cleaned into drinking water.
Absolutely welcome. We have one of our best projects in Chennai and also across the world. And absolutely welcome to come and see how we put technology to action and not merely in words.
Up on that. Thank you so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.
Thank you very much.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.